things.
From the heart of the city to the outer edges of the Beltway and beyond, this is the District of Misfits show, the drinking show with a podcast problem. This is your guide into our unique and beautiful city, the good, the bad, the ugly, as well as the funny and straight up ridiculous. Told by us before someone tells it for us. The opinions expressed on this show are our own, and we make no apologies. What up, heathens, and happy May to you. Welcome to another episode of the District of Misfits
was me.
show.
Valerie shot Valerie.
Oh, sweet. It wasn't me botching the openings. Awesome.
It was me.
Cool. So, like I was saying, my name is Boo. I'm here with my usual cohorts, Marcus and Val. And our good friend Kate is joining us this week, our special guest. We're going to be talking all kinds of, catching up on the things that happened this week. And we're going to talk about adopting pets and loving pets because we're a bunch of animal lovers in this motherfucker.
It's Sunday. This is a way to go out.
Sunday, we're instead of talking about how shitty the world is, we're going to talk about cute furry things that like to cuddle and love on you and stuff. But yeah, before we do that, would like to take this opportunity to ask all of you that are watching, tuning in, to please like and share on all of your favorite social media platforms for podcast consuming. On Facebook and Instagram, the District of Misfits. On Twitter, at DC Misfits. On Twitch, District of Misfits. And you can go to crushingdc.com and support us there by purchasing some of our wares. And if you are interested in creating a podcast of your own, we would love to get you started. You can reach out to us at the District of Misfits show at gmail.com. Wait, did I fuck that up?
No, but you fucked up the YouTube channel.
I fucked up with the YouTube channel? Oh, the District of Misfits show.
You didn't say it.
So I didn't fuck it up. I just omitted it.
So do a shot.
I don't have
I'm a shot.
I got an 8% beer though, so here we go.
That works. Chug it.
Chug it.
I'm joking. Don't chug it.
Don't chug it.
You must
Don't
want
chug
this
it.
show to get spicy.
Hi, Avalon.
Hey, what's up, Babylon?
What's up, unicorn?
Hello.
But yeah, so Marcus, what's up for this week's show? Oh, actually, I have a surprise for you guys a tiny bit later on in the show. I didn't want to say
I like
anything
surprises.
And I have a
say
surprise
anything
as
during
well.
the pre-production meeting, but yeah,
I have a surprise as well. Maybe not as nice as yours, but I have a surprise.
Who
So yeah, on this week's show, we're gonna talk about kitty cats, stupid white chef, stupid Matt Gates, Jamie's love of Cheese Whiz.
Oh fuck! I didn't see that in the notes in pre-production, but okay.
I got that.
Is that
Cool.
going into the OnlyFans?
Oh,
Yeah,
man, dude, that
good
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
That OnlyFans joke got beat so hard last week that we have to do it.
We have
to do it, otherwise we look like the biggest bunch of bitches ever. What's up, Megan? Yeah, jump in the chats, tell your friends, send out some invites, like and share this with everybody. My name is Boo. You can find me on you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit, even though I don't really post on Reddit, but you can find me there on all those at Crushing Boo.
Crushing Boo.
Crushing. Is it my turn?
No, normally it's my turn next.
Then go ahead.
You can find me as the Pasteurized Chef on all the platforms.
Shout out
I
to
mean,
Sweet
I
Animal
mean-
Love.
Sweet animal.
All the sweet animal love.
Like there's 3 people in the comments, it's already like
And they're all good. I vow
Now it's my turn?
yes.
No.
Okay.
Jamie's-
So you can now find me now, as always. Valerie Michelle Torres on Facebook. Michelle with the dos L's, L's. On on Twitters and the Instagrams at VMTDC.
Val, I have
Yes,
a suggestion. You consolidate everything under Val. No, under Michelle. Under Michelle Dos L's.
Michelle dos L's.
Michelle
Yeah.
Dos. Michelle Arias.
Perhaps. Anyway, I don't use those fuckers anyway. I don't use the Twitter. I try,
really
but I don't.
No tweeting.
I
You
try
only
to, but
use
it
Twitter
just
to
is too much.
Do we have Caitlin's things? Do you have Are you active on social media? Do you?
I am.
Is she?
I am a little too active. Probably.
I asked that question rhetorically. Where can you be found if someone wants to?
Skivony Wild is the main one, but I also have the Kittens of DC, Bartenders of DC.
Marcus, do we have a graphic for any of that?
No, I didn't get that. Those graphics.
Marcus
None of
hates
those.
us, y'all.
None of those things.
Marcus hates
Okay,
us. He
but if
doesn't
you just
work
send me a
hard.
text-
He doesn't work hard on this show at all.
It was in her email.
It was in the email.
God damn it! Didn't I
The
do
files are inside the computer, Marcus.
that? I would do the shot.
Yeah.
Do the shot, Marcus. It
You
was
gotta
definitely in her
you gotta
email.
Take that mad dog to the shoulders.
My shoulders were sunburned,
That's
bro.
Especially
Not
because
yours,
I know
not
that
your
he was
shoulders.
like eyeing me and being like, "You didn't send them to me." I was like, "They're in the email." She sent them in the email.
One day we'll hire some poor intern to document the shenanigans behind the scenes.
And Mike.
It'll be like VH1 behind the music, but behind the podcast.
Up there, it is. You are correct.
There, yeah.
We're so close. To
I was so
achieving
fragile
fame
about
and
the.
fortune.
I was so broken by looking at all the pictures that I didn't see the.
he
Were you
literally
right,
like
Marcus?
he like stormed off. He was like, "There are so many pictures on here. Tell her to tell me which one."
Sensory overload.
That's not even a lot. Do you know?
Too-
That's not a lot.
Motherfucker, when I have
And
like
I was
20
like, she
minutes,
really did put in a folder with only 5 pictures that are like edited
Yeah.
pictures.
Do you know how many pictures I actually had? Like 455. Okay, and I
like
narrowed it down to 5.
Marcus's brain would have leaked out of his ear.
that is a fucking true story.
Drip.
True story, because it almost happened this week already once. So
Oh, we got a shout out to Marcus from Delaware. What up, Marcus?
Delaware?
Cold cheddar.
Oh, that's
Delaware.
one of my former cooks. Val, you actually might have met him the other day. It was
Yeah.
like 2 weeks. We ran into him. He came
Y'all
up
may
to me.
not know this, but in Delaware, Marcus is a minor celebrity.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Really,
He's
Val,
infamous, if not famous.
I won't say. Yeah, I'll say more.
Although there was this one time we were walking in like the Grotto's Pizza, and this dude like from the parking lot was like, "Yo, what's up, dude? What are you doing back in town? They let you back in here?"
You're the most hated person in this town.
That's exactly what he said. He was like, "Aren't you like the most hated person in this town?"
Yep, I know how to pick them. Some of my best friends are the most hated person in town. What are you talking about?
Right?
So yeah, before this all gets away from us and before Jamie comes Delta forcing through the fucking skylight again, let's do safe words. I'm going first. My safe word is kittens.
Oh.
And I'm writing it down so I don't forget.
Well, hold on. Let me put them in the notes. Shit. Yours is kitten?
Plural, kittens.
Ton.
Kittens.
Pussies.
Well, no.
Hey, this is a
That's
family
not-
show.
that's not
Jamie's
his
kid
safe word.
watches.
Jamie's kid is on it.
He's actually part of our R&D department. People don't know that.
Exactly.
He does a better job than his dad on the show because he's quiet.
He just smiles.
He smiles. Oh
Boo
shit!
goes.
I did
Is
not
Boo
mean.
here?
To do that. Yeah, I think Boo. I don't know.
What happened?
Usually, I get a
Sorry,
head.
I had a something super quick. I had to do. We're good. We're good. We're great. It's great to have you
we
here.
gonna-
Hey, Caitlin, give your
What's your safe word?
Well,
Give me,
What?
give me your socials real quick again.
Schiavone Wild. Can you spell that? Yeah, there you go. Good job.
Hey.
Good job, Marcus.
And then Kittens of DC. Yeah, that's the kitten one. That's the cute one.
Nice.
In there.
Some kittens.
Good
Yo,
job.
shout out to my man Sean Batten in the comments. Hashtag the Mighty Trouble Threat. Making a strong return in 2021. We had a nice random, well, not random, like, because it was booked studio time, but had a jam session yesterday with like 4 of the members. We had some fun. We did some like fucking dope ass spaced out fucking rocking shit. Dude, it was good.
He's also our other ghost producer, asking why Boo's audio is a little bit lower than everybody else's.
I don't know. Maybe I think I haven't quite settled into the show yet. I'm not really using my voice, but I'll get there. Don't worry. You'll be like, shut the fuck up in a minute. It's also a new mic too. I don't have like
The disembodied head. He's just like floating around.
I just see like I just think of the Death Row album. That's all I think of.
Oh yeah, shit.
Every time you do that, that's all I think of the Death Row.
Oh, did you just make a Suge Knight joke, bro? Is that what happened?
I think he did.
Was he the one wearing glasses?
Did you just Suge Knight me?
I was Tupac.
We were all Tupac, bro. All right. Anyways, safe words. Safe words.
Oh.
We got off. We're off track here.
Valerie, what you got?
Sparkle.
I like it.
Sparkly. I'm having some sparkly spritzy sangria spritzes.
Oh,
Mm.
I'm not sure how I feel about them yet, but they were at the store and I thought I'd try. Marcus sent me off on to go to one of the I don't like it. Going to the liquor outlet store. It's a I
that's
already
right.
am
Everything's an outlet store in Delaware.
I'm like already so distracted. Like I'm so easily distracted, and I'm so indecisive. And I walked in there and I was like, "Holy fuck! Look at all these things!" Like
It's like
it took me.
overload,
And then the
man.
one thing that I was really trying to look for, that I was tasked to find, was the fucking Mad Dog, which they did not have.
Yeah,
So then I
it's
had
like
to go to a different store to get them.
You can't go into like it's like walking into Harris Teeter's prepared food section when you're high. It's too much, man. It's just way too much.
Not a good idea at all.
Fuck.
Not a good idea.
So crazy.
Hey, Marcus, quick question: is there a way to raise my audio on your end in case it is a problem with me?
Let me figure this.
It's important. We don't know these things. We can't hear these things in pre-production. So everybody in the comments in the chat room, everybody watching, like, your feedback is important.
100%.
What was your safe word, Val? I don't know. I already forgot it. You already forgot it.
Sparkles.
Sparkles.
I put spark.
I'm writing this down, even though
You
it's not
put what?
my safe word.
I put sparkly. That's what you said.
Sparkly. Yep. Sparkly.
Sparkly.
That works.
Okay. You know what I realized we've been fucking up? We should have been
Everything?
cataloging. Well, I mean, aside from our lives. That's how do you think we ended up here? We should have been cataloging all of our safe words from the beginning. Can you imagine how fucking hilarious?
Well,
that
we
would
can
be?
do that
I mean,
because
in a sense, we have cataloged the safe words, but like,
well, the reason we can do it
Is
because
we need to get
that guy. We can do it because of that guy. Because every episode we've ever from DC as fuck.
Listen to it all, yeah.
except for a couple lost episodes that shall never be seen again.
Yes. Well, you know what? We can still pull the safe words from the beginning of those episodes. We just can't. We just have to cut them off after like the first 45 minutes.
But there's no evidence of that one show when I had a man bun.
Oh, you were rocking a man bun too. You had man bun energy like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you did. Woo, Marcus. Woo. Even Mike had to call you out. Mike was like, "Yo,
hashtag man bun energy."
Mini, not just man bun, mini man bun.
Mini man bun.
Tiny
energy.
little man bun.
Dude, I wish I was wearing a black turtleneck now. I'm into this whole disembodied head thing. This is. I'm feeling this. This is gonna come in real handy in hour number 2. Yo, Megan, with the timestamp, 10 minutes, 25 seconds.
Oh,
Lord.
I'm on board. Wait, who hasn't picked their safe word yet?
Marcus and Caitlin.
Yeah.
Caitlin,
Granddad.
You're our guest. You go next. Say granddad.
It's Raptor. Raptor.
As in Velocir. Okay. I'm into it. Girl, baby. Sorry, I don't know why I did that, but
Girl, baby.
sounded way funnier.
Wow,
way
boo.
funnier up here.
It's the wine. It's the wine that you were.
It's the wine. It's about to be this 8% flying dog blood orange, so batten down the hatches, kids.
is that your safe word, Megan?
Oh, I like it. Yo, hey, everyone in the chat room, you are totally allowed to have a safe word. So feel free.
Absolutely. You don't have to use one of ours. You can have your own.
Yeah, please don't use ours. Come up with your own. It has to be one word and it can't be a proper name. Those are the two rules.
Yeah, so let me change granddad. Let's do chaos.
Well, no. Some people spell
Granddad is not a proper
word.
word. Yeah. I mean, it can be, but it's not.
What are you telling me?
I mean, if you want to change it, Marcus, now's the perfect
Yeah,
time.
I'm going to go to chaos.
Not like you will ever use it.
Chaos? You never use your safe word.
I created the safe words for you guys to protect you.
Wait. Did you
Protect us from you?
Word? Who created the safe word?
Probably Tracy.
We might have to go back and do some archaeological fucking
digging
exploratory work here on the origin of the safe word on this show.
The origin of the safe. Yeah, I really want to know where
Oh
it
my
came.
god, yo, Avalon! If someone yells cat poop, you know the party's over. That's a mood killer right there.
So the other thing that I found at the outlet liquor store, I don't know if anyone else has had
Jamie's still
this
waiting on mine.
Verdi,
Yeah, around our centers.
the Verdi malt liquor beverage.
That's malt liquor.
You sell
Apparently,
Wait, stop. What's it called? What is that?
Verdi malt beverage. Malt beverage. Can you see it?
It looks like white
So it seems fancy, right? My cousin had bottles of these at her wedding that we were just taking to the face. All like me, like all the younger ones, we were just like, "Brr." And then I realized like later on in the evening, I was like, oh, it says malt beverage. What are we drinking? Like we thought we were drinking cheap champagne.
It's like,
but it
Four
was
Loko in a
cheaper
fancy
than
bottle.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I found it, and I think I'm gonna have some of it.
Ooh.
Tonight. Oh,
Oh my god! Did you
Where'd that go?
You just, wait, I just blinked. Did you just kill Marcus? I turned around. He's not in his seat. I looked away for like 2
Timing of
seconds.
this.
Where'd he go?
Marcus? Shit. Oh Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
okay.
dude!
they get the
Why
Four
do you
Locos.
have that?
Stop! Does that say sour on it?
That's
Mm.
even worse.
It still tastes the same.
Wait, Marcus, you got no sound.
I took it out of my nephew's.
Dude, Four Loko sour? And what is that,
Yikes.
22 ounces?
Sure.
I don't know.
Dude, that is a whole lot of crazy in one can.
I like how it says we ID.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to see your ID and notify your next of kin. And I'm gonna inject you with this GPS tracker so they can find your body the next day. Like, what the fuck? Dude. Oh my
I like that I'm getting some validation from Mark here
Verdi,
about the Verdi.
What's it taste like now? What's it taste like?
It's sweet and sparkly. Oh, but I'm not using it as my safe. I'm not saying that as my safe word.
Dude,
You say yes.
This can only end awesome.
It's a little Boone Farms ish.
It seems like
A little
Boone's
bit.
Farm with some glitz.
Yes.
A little
Yes.
glitz to it.
I'm gonna have to take a picture of it and send it to my cousin. We rocked the shit out of this, and we just kept taking it. Like they would just, the caterers would sort of put bottles on the tables every so often, and I was sitting with some of her college friends, and we would just go to the cart and just like grab a bottle. At one point, each one of us at the table, we all each had one. We were just like drinking from the bottle.
That's a little dangerous,
I mean,
Valerie.
yeah,
Sounds
we
like the
were a
90s.
mess.
Sounds like the 90s to me.
It was 2005 is when they got married. I think 6
There
maybe.
you go.
Wait, when did Michael Jackson die?
Not soon.
Oh shit! I was at a wedding. I was at a wedding that day too.
Yeah, so it was their rehearsal dinner. It was their rehearsal the night of the
Was that
rehearsal dinner that he died.
2010?
Can that be? Okay,
No.
so 2010 was when they got married. That
Yeah,
makes
I think it was 2010.
sense. I don't know.
Marcus,
Yeah, I
bing
guess
that
so.
shit.
Bing that shit, Marcus.
I can do that.
23,
Um,
2359.
So yeah, so the best is that so my cousin, my family, for those viewers who don't know, my nickname is Bambi. Family and other Filipino friends will call me Bambi. So Carissa is my cousin. All of her friends, they all knew me as Bambi. They don't even know my for real name. And all these white people calling me Bambi and just like calling my name like throughout the wedding. It was just funny. One of her best friends, now husbands, but they were just dating at the time. He was after the wedding, we were all in the hotel. And I was going into my hotel room, and I hear down the hallway, someone going, Bambi, Bambi. And I turn around, I can't see anybody, and I see someone peek out from like the stairwell, and he's like, "Bam!" And it's this now husband of my cousin's friend, and he locked himself out of his hotel room because he was a little bit hammered, and he was just in his boxers, and I was like,
I was going to ask
Oh,
you,
dude. Well, I told.
I was like, "Hey, how are you?" He was like, "Can you find Meredith? I need to get." Or he was like, "Can you like call the room or something?" He was like, "I can't get. She's passed out." He was like, "I need to get into the room."
Oh, I felt his pain. I told the story about getting locked out of my hotel room in Vegas when I was naked.
Yeah.
That same weekend. That same weekend. It was the same weekend of the Forest Glen metro crash. Like, we had just checked into our hotel rooms and turned on the news. And in Vegas, fucking NBC News was like, fucking, they're, I guess, piggybacking off of that feed. So, like, yeah, we're unpacking our shit, and there's like, Forest Glen train crash. And then that was like Thursday. And then 2 days later, the Saturday of that weekend, Michael Jackson died. That was like,
That's crazy.
Time. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, so at the same time, there were two different gentlemen getting stuck out of their hotel room naked or partially naked at a wedding.
Whatever day of the week that is, beware, y'all. Beware.
I think it was like June 26th or something like that.
Put a shoe in the doorway or something if you got to step outside your hotel room.
So Michael Jackson, he died 2009.
2009, yeah.
What day? June 25th?
It was a Saturday. I remember that much.
Hold on, let me find the fucking day.
Tits, Marcus. What the fuck, dude?
Come on, Bing.
Marcus did the lazy Bing.
What year did he die?
I need to know the exact date and time, pronunciation of TOD.
Here I go. In honor of that day.
I'm gonna see if I can make it through a whole show without Petey harassing me to let him outside. Because
I'll take money on the.
I'll let him out.
We should all just like bet on the over under of when Petey's gonna need to go to that.
He's already in my shit, and I'm like, "Fuck you, dude."
34 minutes.
What?
Huh?
It was June 25th, 2009.
Yeah, that's right. June 25th.
Happy early anniversary, Mark and Alex. What? Better early than late.
And Carice and Sam.
Yeah. So we're kind of meandering, but how was everybody's weeks? Like real short and sweet, real fast.
I got my second COVID shot.
Woo!
I am 1 week out from my second one,
so I don't know. You won't be able to see it very well, but look at my arm.
Damn!
Oh, nice.
What the fuck happened? Who hurt you?
The lady, I'm like convinced the lady just did it wrong.
Which one did you get?
Moderna.
Oh shit!
I'm Moderna too.
I didn't have that, dude.
So she, when she did it, because of course I was taking a picture, right? So I wasn't really paying attention. And I definitely felt it. You know, the first one, I didn't feel it all. Not at all. I didn't feel her putting the needle in. I didn't feel her injecting the vaccine in. Nothing.
It looks like she stuck it in and broke it off, dude.
Right? So then this one, my brother. So I texted my brother right after because I was like, dude, what happened? Like, what? This was very different. Am I dying now? And he was like, no. He said that they've been using a different needle for the second Moderna shot. They've changed the needles. And he said sometimes, so I started bleeding.
You don't
so not just like a little, like,
dude.
Not just a teeny tiny little bead of bleed. Like it dripped down my arm. And I didn't even realize until she was like, oh, let's wipe you up. And I looked over and I was like, oh, it like dripped onto my leg.
So you blooded a lot?
I was like, whoa. I blooded a lot. And so then I was like, okay, whatever. She put a Band-Aid on and then I had to go to work. I went to do expo at Penny Royal. And I was like, whatever, I feel fine. And then I ran my hand over my arm, and it was like as if I had like been stung by a spider or bit by a spider or something. It was like super raised. I didn't notice a bruise at first, but by the time I got home, it was like bruised like that shit. And it was like the whole my entire deltoid muscle was like hard as a rock, like just inflamed and angry. I was like, what happened to me?
Dude.
You guys are gonna have to give me 1 second. My cat is apparently starving to death. I just gotta get.
Oh,
you
no.
Right back.
Yeah. So I mean, my brother said that it's not uncommon. You know, my brother's a doctor. So he's been administering these shots also, and he said like at first like they weren't prepared for like the people like he was like, yeah, the second shot it definitely happened. Some people bled, and he learned pretty quickly that you put a gauze right away. That clearly this lady was not paying attention and didn't think to put the gauze on my arm before I dripped down onto the floor. But yeah, I was like, well, what happened? Like, am I like not fully vaccinated now? Did some of it drip out of my arm? Like, what did you do? Did you like do it wrong?
Some of it, never mind.
I was like, what happened? Is this not
Some
right?
Of it ended
did you
up
not
a
do it right?
stain on the sleeve of your shirt. God damn it.
But I mean, fortunately for me, like all kidding aside, I would rather have this like pain in my arm than like what some of the other people were having, that like the flu symptoms. So like, I mean, I still worked. I worked Friday and I bartended Friday and Saturday night, and like I definitely I felt a little foggy. Like
So,
there were some times that like I would make the wrong drink. I'd read the tickets and I think I was making one thing, and then I'd be like, oh no, that's not what I'm supposed to be making. But
so two
whatever.
things. To Mark's comment, I think they just wanted to make sure that since it was one dose that it stuck and it got in there good. I think that's what that was right there. They just want to make sure you got it extra good. And speaking of Pennyroyal Station, I got to go there with Sarah and her parents on Friday, and the kitchen loved on us so hard. Like,
Would you go back this night? Did you go back or?
No, sorry, it was last week.
When Marcus was there, like 2 weeks ago.
And
or 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah, that was fucking fantastic, yo. Like,
yeah, what was the best? What was your favorite thing that you liked?
Her parents talked about going back again. Like,
that's it.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, yeah.
Food's good.
What was my favorite thing? It's really hard to fucking nail it down. There was so much good shit. That mac and cheese was redonkulous.
So good.
God, I like.
What else did you guys get?
Let's see. What did I get? I was super high when I went in there, so
Yeah, you were.
I was just sort of inhaling everything. I mean, the deviled eggs were super dope.
So good.
And what else? There was fried green tomatoes.
Yeah, they're fired.
Yeah, fried green tomatoes, and then I got the was it pork shoulder? Or no, the short ribs. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, those are really good too.
The short ribs, dude. Like, just melt. No knife needed.
No knife.
No knife needed.
Nope. Just your fork.
Ceviche, that was banging.
Oh, the ceviche. That's fairly new.
Yeah.
And that's
so
definitely
good.
Definitely.
Yeah, like, we ordered regular, but then the love came out of the kid. It's just been so long. It's just been so long since I felt the love. Like when you walk into a place that's like your peeps and magical things just show up at the table, like. And I hadn't been out to a restaurant in a fucking year. Like that was our first. That was like our first time, like dining indoors. At the very least, like, yeah. So, and meeting, I'd already met her mom, but like her stepdad, I'm just meeting him for the first time. So,
they seem pretty nice.
Shout out to Bob and Vicky. You guys fucking rock. They're mad chilling. But yeah, we ate. And, and the drinks too, man. The cocktails, which is fucking fabulous. Yeah, fabulous, dude. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's before we get to Kane, let's go on to our topics that you want to discuss, gentlemen and ladies.
What? Oh,
Huh?
you mean?
Yes.
Let's follow the show note. Let's continue with the show.
Well, no. How about this? Let's do Caitlin first,
All right.
and then we have her join us while we run through our topics of the day. Now, before we
Yes.
do that, though, we are 35 minutes into the show. Let's take another moment to do call to action. If you are watching, please like this show, share this show, encourage other people that you know that will appreciate this show and what we're offering as far as entertainment and information, etc., etc. Please encourage them to start watching us on all of your favorite social media platforms. If you can't watch it live, you can always stream it later. We're still available. Facebook and Instagram, the District of Misfits Show. On Twitter, we're at DC Misfits. We have a YouTube channel where you can definitely find previous episodes, everything, including other shows that are being produced through District Dogface Studios, who is also producing this. Nice work.
Who is also us.
Yeah, it's also us.
We wear 3 hats.
On Twitch, District of Misfits, and you can go to crushingdc.com and purchase some of our gear and support us that way. And if you are interested in creating your own podcast, we would like to help you make that happen too. You just go to the District of Misfits Show at gmail.com. Hit us up. Let us know what you got in mind. And we have the whole infrastructure set up. We can get you going. And so I thought that Jamie was going to be present for this. He's going to miss out on this, but I want to take this opportunity to unveil my surprise.
I can't wait.
Some sponsors came to me. I know it's something that we've been wanting. These are some very special people, and I am really excited to shout them out. And I'm not going to do it all at once because there's a few. We'll dole them out as the show goes on. But our first sponsor, I really want to give a shout out to the law offices of Torres and Summerfew, who are kind enough to, provide us with some legal representation during when the situation calls. And also the Roderick Foot Rub Foundation, which I'm sorry, Jamie's not here to share in that. But yeah, so
Marcus, where are the graphics?
Really happy to have these people on board. There's more sponsors to come. I will share them with you as we do more call to action. So carry on.
That Torres and Summerfew, those people sound really familiar.
They
must. I feel like they're high class
their
representation.
motto is,
right
we
there.
mean business.
Excuse me.
Some of you. On that note,
I can't wait to go back and rewatch this because the delayed response is fucking fantastic. That went over so much better than I did in my head.
on that note, I'm cracking the Four Loco.
No. You should have to drink that warm.
And
Like,
after
it should have to sit in the
It's
sun.
pretty warm, I feel like.
It should
It's
have
not
to
that
sit
cool.
in the sun for fucking 2 hours before you're allowed to open it.
Ew.
I gave well, hold
You
on.
gotta-
First of all,
You
First of
gotta
all,
pay to play.
it's not that cold, and I left it out in the garage all night last night, and I just picked it up about 2 hours ago. So technically, it's been sun on that.
It's summer
It's
cold.
room temp.
It's summer warm.
After so for Donald Trump,
Oh my god. All right, so yeah, before we get
God, that's
into the
garbage.
second hour, let's take some time to give the floor,
me
give some space to our special guest compadre, Caitlin Shivani. Val, do you want to set this up? Do you want to? I just did an intro, but I feel like you should do like a proper.
Yes. So Caitlin is actually a second timer, a returning guest on our show. She was on the show in November of 2018.
The before times.
The before times.
Oh.
It was the before times. That was still when we were in the studio in the Washington Post building.
She was just a doughy-eyed lass, fresh off the boat.
Am I high or drunk already in that picture?
Probably.
Yes,
Most likely.
Or you've been awake for too long, and the fluorescent lights are just
that was
starting
my
to get to
that
you.
was my concussion.
That was before we
No,
knew the
that was
fluorescent
Marcus.
lights.
That was pre-concussion.
Was it?
No. Oh.
Yeah, your concussion was in December. That was still November. That's just you being fucked up.
Shout out to Val being fucking scorekeeper.
Dude, it's
That's why
emblazoned in my mind when all that stuff happened.
Hey, remember to bring a laptop down from DC.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I also had COVID brain, so I had vaccine.
yo, you can't do that. She's in the same room with you.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not. Oh, good. I was gonna say if you were, you should throw something at him.
I should. I'm talking about his fucking the sequence of his fucking concussion. Like I know every little bit of it. So
Val, you're doing the
I don't
Lord's
care.
work.
I don't care how like COVID vaccine brain I have. Like that shit's emblazoned in my brain.
All right, so you were saying.
Anyway, so November, it was late November of 2018. And I feel like she brought like a bunch of fun craft beers because you were at Paradiso at the time.
Those were good times. Good times.
Those were good times. You know, and so Caitlin, I want you to sort of walk us through from that time, obviously like a couple years go by and then we have
this.
You went to school, like you were in school,
Mm-hmm.
and you ended up leaving the bar altogether because you wanted to focus on school. What were you in school for?
Biology, like conservation biology. So specifically like wildlife, environmental stuff related. And I'm still in school for that, but obviously I've taken like some time off because of the pandemic. Being a science major and going to online science classes is like really not ideal. You just can't recreate lab stuff on the computer. It's just not cool.
Right.
So that's what I'm in school for.
Right. And you've been working in the elephant house. You were volunteering at the zoo. I mean, Caitlin is super, like, it's very admirable for me. Like, you're so committed to wildlife conservation in really every facet of your life. And then you were in school for that.
You were like the first person on our show that like legit had like that type of experience. It was dope.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you went 2 times, right? I know that you went to, where did you go first?
Kenya first, and then Nepal.
Right. And then the COVID happened. You were planning on going somewhere else, and then COVID just.
Yeah, I was going to go to South Africa and Madagascar.
The panini happened.
Yeah, and then the pandemic happened, and the school canceled all of our international trips, everything. So,
which sucks. So recently, you've been hit up by one of your professors who you went to Nepal with, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you've been doing some other things, like clearly she like appreciated your gift for photography and everything.
Yeah, and, she's really cool. She's just a really, really great professor. She is actually, so she's a wildlife biologist, but she's also a filmmaker. So she kind of like started out doing wildlife biology, but then she realized that a lot of people are introduced to these sorts of subjects like conservation and the problems facing wildlife by films. You know, how many of us have seen like David Attenborough and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Basically everybody, Mutual of Omaha back in the day, like all that stuff. Wasn't that long ago, but anyway, so she wanted to sort of bring these stories like up front to people, and use her scientific knowledge of being a biologist to do so, because you don't have a whole lot of overlap there. You don't have a whole lot of filmmakers that are also scientists, or vice versa. So she created this film company called K Sarah Sarah Films, and they have been producing films. In Nepal, we worked on one that's called Black Peaks, and it's going to be looking at how climate change is affecting Nepal and the people who live in Nepal and the wildlife. That should be done like in the next month or two, very soon. And a lot of my footage is in that. And then she's also making another film, which is what I helped her with yesterday. Not yesterday. It wasn't yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Yesterday and like a week or two ago. And that's going to be called There Are Still Wizards. And it's about Lee Talbot, who is the author of the Endangered Species Act and a lot of other stuff, but that's his like main thing. So he's responsible for saving a lot of animals. That's him. So that's what I've been working with, and I hope that I want to keep working with her as much as possible, because it's just really an amazing experience all around.
You mentioned Mutual of Omaha, and fucking all of a sudden I was like transported back to my childhood. Like, that was my Mutual Omaha, Wild Kingdom. What was the one that used to be on PBS? That was actually, I feel like those two things sort of happened at the same time for me.
Yeah.
And Jacques Cousteau was sort of interwoven in because he did the underwater shit, but the other two shows focused, I felt like, more on like, your African Serengeti plains type, good shit. I'm still horribly addicted to wildlife shows. Like,
well, I mean, that's how a lot of us are like introduced to all those concepts. I mean, because when you're in school, you learn a little bit about biology, but not to the extent like that those shows show you. And like being able to be transported to those different areas all over the world and see how those animals interact, it is really important. I can publish as much scientific research as possible, right? But how
National
many?
Geographic, the magazine itself was the bomb.
Yeah.
But once you were able to capture that shit on film and like with drone technology and like, I mean, I got a 4K TV, and ever since I got my glasses, I'm like, oh, that's what they mean by 4K. Like, I can actually see like what the fuck is going on. And so like I'm seeing this shit for the first time in like a whole new way, man. It's like Nature, on PBS. There was another one though. I felt like they had elephants in the very beginning. That's all I remember of this show was like elephants stamped like stampeding or some shit. I don't know, but it was great. I love it.
I remember Mutual of Omaha. Nature. I remember Nature. I don't know.
Nature was like a little more low key. Like, I feel like the show that I'm thinking of. What's up, Erica? The show that I'm thinking of is a little bit more mainstream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, what are you doing now post pandemic?
So I was so right before the pandemic, I had actually quit bartending because I was finally in like the position financially. My husband was bartending and working, and like my parents were in the industry, and I was like, for the first time ever, I was able to like not work in the industry and focus on school 100%. So I did not know, none of us did, but I didn't know that we were about to be forced into a global pandemic. Otherwise, I would not have quit my job. But unfortunately, I did right before the pandemic, and then that all happened. And so it kind of changed a lot of stuff for our family, because the majority of my family is in the industry, serving, bartending, something like that. Everybody lost their jobs. All of us. I already lost mine, obviously, because I quit, but everybody else in the household did. So we went from like all that income to just nothing. And then, as many people know, the situation with DC unemployment has been fucking terrible. So any of us getting money from that. It was just so much of a weight for that. And like your landlords and all the bills you have to pay, like, yeah, they said that we don't have to pay it, you're not going to get kicked out. But we all know that the longer you don't pay those things, the more it just adds up. Okay. And it just makes it worse. So we had those issues. So I started doing Uber Eats to bring in money because obviously a lot of people were getting deliveries in that time. And I've actually been a delivery driver in the DC area for like a decade on and off. It's just always something I've done on the side, right? So I'm already familiar with it, the whole process and all that stuff. So I started doing that, and I've still been doing it. I'm still doing it today. I did like pick up some shifts at Beer Garden House on H Street Northeast. I was there for a little bit. But I have had like some problems with like my back and my neck, like neck issues and back issues, and like driving is not that bad, but the repetitive motion of like bartending and stuff is actually like really, it's really bad.
This act.
Yeah.
This
and then pouring
motion,
and like
craft beer
this
and all that
repetitive
stuff.
motion over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So speaking of Caitlin, I just gotta. I'm maybe 5 days in. Actually, no, shit. I started on Thursday. I got a gig delivering luggage from National Airport for various people, and like
Nice.
a couple people have been like, "Yo, man, how are the tips?" And I'm like, non-existent. Like you would think for people that are like so grateful to be getting some shit that they thought was going to be lost forever.
Yeah, but they would tip, right?
But there's still social distancing. There's still like no one carries fucking cash anymore. Like if someone actually handed me cash, I think I might be more freaked out than anything.
Yeah.
What would be dope is if someone was like, "Yo, what's your Venmo?"
Nice.
Like, and so I'm thinking I might have to get a shirt made with my Venmo and my Cash App on the front. And then when I show up with these people's bags, I just stand very prominently with the Cash App. You know, and as they compliment me and like, because I haven't, let's say, just like I said, I'm only doing a couple runs. Let's say out of like a dozen bags, I've gotten a dozen like, "Thank you so much" texts, like, and I'm kind of wondering now if it's like
"You're welcome."
Would it be bad form to be like, if you really want to show your appreciation, you can send some money too, and then drop my shits in the fucking text.
That is the tip thing is one thing I actually do like about Uber Eats is because I think a lot of people who use Uber
Eats, Megan McKay with the bullseye and this.
Yes, the QR code.
That's kind of like a genius.
Wait, where am I gonna get a shirt made with my QR code?
There's plenty of options. I think you just put whatever you want a shirt.
We might. I feel like maybe we might know somebody who might.
Yeah. By the way, if you fuckers need T-shirts made, give us a call. We can help you with that. Shout out to the gay. Dude. Oh my God! How fast can I get a fucking shirt with my QR code on it? Like, we need to make this happen yesterday.
That needs to happen soon.
Anyways. So,
continue, Caitlin.
Oh, so that's one thing I like about Uber Eats is like, so a lot of the delivery gig companies don't show you the tip up front. They show you like how much the order is, and you sort of have to like decide whether it's worth it. Like if they do tip on that amount of money, would it be worth it, right? Uber shows you the tip up front. You don't actually know how much is the tip and how much is the fare, but you still know overall, like, if somebody's tipped ahead in the app, this is what they've put on there. Like that's how much money you're going to get. So by the way, if any of you guys are ordering Uber Eats, if you're waiting until the end to tip, your order is probably going to get declined more because the drivers are going to see a lower amount of money on there and they're not going to take it. Like I wouldn't take that shit. So, but yeah, so I found that with Uber, a lot of the times it's either exactly what it said it was going to be, which is fine, or they actually tip more. With the other delivery companies, sometimes you just have like no idea and you don't get tips on any of them. So that's been very helpful. But you know, it's not the same as bartending, obviously. But bartending right now is not the same as the before times,
Facts. Yeah.
Doing what we can.
So let's kind of circle back to what you've been doing with your professor. You did a couple recent things for her that she tapped into your photographic skills.
Yeah, so I already helped her with video, photographs, and sound in Nepal. So I already had experience with this stuff. So the first thing that she had me do was about like a week or 2 weeks ago. She just randomly was like, "Hey, do you want to help me on this film? It's in Virginia Beach. I know that's really far." And I was like, "That's not far for me to help you with this stuff. Like, I'll do anything because I haven't been able to do anything like wildlife related for like a year because everything's been shut down." So the second that she was like, "This helps wildlife," I was like, "I'm there. Sign me up. I don't even care if it's like 10 fucking hours away. I will be there." So it was in Virginia Beach, and the reason that the main reason that she had asked me to help her was she needed somebody fully vaccinated. So I was already fully vaccinated a few months ago, and she was not. And one of the things that she needed to do was somebody had to go on a very, 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 very tiny plane with the biologist while they were doing an aerial survey of bald eagle nests. And so obviously, like going on a tiny plane like that, if you're not fully vaccinated, not a good idea. And she's always been really worried about getting COVID and has been really safe and did not want to put herself in that position. I was like, yeah, fully vaccinated, put me in that plane with anybody. I don't care.
I have a 12-second clip of your flying.
The flying, yeah. So
let me put that on.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
That's so cool.
So the guy that you guys see the guy pointing that was on like the right-hand side, that's Brian Watts, and he is a professor at the College of William and Mary, and he does a lot of conservation biology work, especially with bald eagles. He and some of the other people that we've worked with on this film are like some of the main people that are responsible for bald eagles coming back to this area, the DC, Mid-Atlantic, Virginia, Maryland area. They have between them, they probably all have about 400 years of research experience on these birds.
Dude, and there's like bald eagles in the area too.
There's tons.
Yeah.
Like I started recently doing a bunch of walks down the Anacostia fucking trail. Shout out to Steve Arvonis. Like, yo, there's bald. Yeah, you'll see the motherfuckers flying over the Anacostia River, man. Like, it's crazy, dude.
It's good because they were really struggling, and now they have rebounded because of the Endangered Species Act and this other conservation work. That's it. So that's like a 6 to 8 week old chick. Looks like a
dude, that thing will snatch your baby.
Yeah. It was literally only 6 to 8 weeks. But anyway, they have rebounded so good that they have actually like surpassed the population expectations of the biologists, which is great. So he was taking us up in that plane, and
are you tagging them? Is that what I said?
The nest. Yeah, so the plane thing was an aerial survey to look at all the nests. So in all these different places. And then the thing that I did yesterday that shot was just from with that chick was the banding of the chicks.
Yo, that picture's from yesterday?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Goddamn.
That was yesterday. That was in Virginia Beach. And so what they did was they went up in the tree. They took these 2 chicks out, and they brought them down. They banded them with the little bracelets and everything, and then they measured. They got like the beak measurement, wing, tail, talon, stuff like that, and then they just send it back up to the nest. But they have to get all of that information on every single new chick that's in the area. Yeah. So.
And Caitlin, you were saying, like you were telling some of us earlier that like the parents like didn't give a shit. They were like, sure, just take my babies.
No, so yeah, so you would think like these like majestic birds, right? If somebody's fucking with their babies, they'd be like all about it, but they didn't care at all. They were flying overhead. They didn't even make any noise. Apparently, so the scientists, they told us that the eagles are actually really chill about it. And it kind of makes sense because like these are such big raptors. They don't have a lot of natural predators. They don't really have any natural predators because they're so huge, right? They said that the birds, the raptors that give them a lot of shit for this are like the little ones, like the peregrine falcons.
I was gonna say peregrine falcons are beasts.
So they will mess you up. A
Those fucking birds.
bald eagle or an osprey will not do that much if you get in their nest, but the peregrine falcon, yeah, because it's like it's like chihuahuas, right? Like they act like they're way bigger than they are. They got to compensate for the same thing.
Was it I guess it's Planet Earth. They do a whole thing about like peregrine falcons fucking run the New York skyline.
Yeah.
Like they're like pigeon control.
Yeah.
Like they show these motherfuckers dive bombing pigeons in Manhattan, and you're just like oh shit, fuck. Like
those falcons will beat up bigger raptors, like bigger eagles and stuff. Well,
they say that like they hit them with so much force when they come from that high and that fast that like they just stun motherfuckers, and it's just by the time you realize what happened, it's over. Like,
they're amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, those eagles that we saw yesterday, those chicks, like I said, were about 6 to 8 weeks.
There's peregrine falcons in DC too?
Yes.
Actually, I'm not that surprised. Like, I just feel like New York, because of the tall buildings and shit, like they've been nesting up there. And
that's a good space for them. But they are all over the Mid-Atlantic, as are ospreys, bald eagles. We have a pretty good amount of raptors in this area. But the bald eagles, one thing that stood out to me yesterday was like just the size of those chicks. So they are full grown by about 9 to 12 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, those like I said, those chicks in those pictures were 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, they grow faster than any bird in North America.
That's nuts.
I mean, imagine going from like baby to full grown adult size in 2 months.
And so when they're fully grown, like how much can they carry? Like
they have found dead cats up in their birds before, their nest before. So
wow.
If you have an outdoor cat, you should probably bring it inside. I'm just saying.
So, like, real talk, I live near Howard University Hospital, and there's this fucking dead tree. I can see it's across the street from my house, and like when my bedroom's on the 3rd floor, and there have been times where I've seen a couple of like red hawks just hanging out.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. And they're like, maybe I'll kill this fucking pigeons over here. Maybe I won't, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm just fucking kicking it, dude. Like, it's crazy. People think people can't like wildlife in DC. There's the overlap is crazy, dude. Like,
especially right there. But like when I used to go run around that neighborhood, and there's a lot of fucking like big birds too running flying around there.
Yeah, the Anacostia Trail is my new fucking shit though. Like, and I mean, it's a hidden jewel.
Yeah.
You'll never see so many black people jogging, biking, walking, strolling, chilling. You know what I mean?
Dude, I live right near that thing. It took me forever to like realize it was there. It's like literally right down the street from me.
It's long as shit too. It's not. You know what I mean? It's not like the C&O Canal fucking bike
like
path or whatever, but
20, 30 miles.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I've done
a little
Kenilworth fucking aquatic gardens along the way.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
Like it's a hidden treasure, man. Like,
see, that's the thing. People think of DC, they don't realize DC has like all these gardens and trails. And
it has some amazing wildlife because I live over here. I live in Southeast DC, pretty close to the trail.
Yeah, you have shit over there too.
Yeah, well, I'm in Hillcrest, which is a pretty wooded neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I can hear owls at night. Like I see like the raptors flying around everywhere in the middle of the day. Like we have a lot of wildlife here. And it's really cool to see because a lot of people do overlook it. They don't even know that the birds are there.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things the scientists said when they were like, so many bald eagles are flying over your head all the time. Nobody looks.
Yep.
But they're there.
And it's funny because not the last time that I did the Anacostia Trail, but the time before it, there was 3 deer on the trail
Mhm.
that were like selfie. They were within selfie distance.
But those deer, okay, the deer
Like,
don't
no
give
fear.
a fuck.
No
Oh,
fear.
yeah, I got you by my house.
I just didn't want to. I would have. If I was arrogant, I would have been like, "Oh, selfie." But I was like, "I don't trust you, motherfuckers, enough to turn my back on you." But I appreciate that y'all are close enough for us to like be able to just.
Those deer, they don't care. The the Rock Creek Park deer also.
You guys know.
I've seen. So I used to drive for Uber for a minute back in 2013, and I saw them running up like a mile north of UDC.
Yeah.
On Wisconsin Avenue.
That's awesome.
These motherfuckers running down the sidewalk. Bucks. Like 10-point bucks. 2 of them.
Well, you know how I
deer that was on 14th Street.
Wait, what?
That like died on 14th Street. They had to like move it out and everything. It was
but I bet you motherfuckers were like mad horrified. But we're like, yo, we're in their house.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I stay up late all the time. Like, I'm always on my porch. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was sitting there drinking, smoking. And it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I just see this deer just walking down my street.
Oh, Mount Rainier? Yeah, you definitely get some deer.
Like, just strolling.
Bro,
taking his time.
When I lived in North Michigan Park on South Dakota, getting home from satellite room at fucking 4 in the morning, 5
They just be strolling.
No, there'd be like 10 of them just hanging out in the middle of the fucking road, dude.
They don't move.
Yeah. Because
they hang out in Georgetown all the time.
Well, you have that whole field that runs from Fort Totten Metro south to Mount Rainier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That whole fucking stretch. Like, yeah, that
those deer, when you come up on those deer, they'll stare at you like, I fucking dare you.
Right.
I went to the zoo one time with the kids, and there was somebody, I guess there's a little narrow road that will take you to the mid-level parking lot.
Yeah.
Off of Rock Creek, and this person in the car in front of us was feeding this fucking deer out their window.
Stupid fuckers.
And I'm just like, I like your energy, but yeah,
but
you're being problematic, dude. Like, you're causing problems.
Those deer, they're a whole thing. They're overpopulated, and they're just way too bold for their own good. But it is what it is.
All right, well, won't you
like I said, I mean, I've seen them in like rolling around the streets in Georgetown, like Georgetown proper. They just like wander around. Like,
I've literally I've so many times when I pass these deer, I will stop the car, pull up to them, put my window down, start talking to them, like, hey, what are you guys doing? How's your day? You know? And they just look at me like, bitch, why are you talking to me right now?
What are you doing?
But they don't run away. Like, they're not scared.
They just look at you.
They just look at you.
Their big, gigantic eyes just like blinking at you.
It's insane. But, I mean, there's so many of them. You know, they have no predators in this area, so they don't have to worry about anything other than, like, cars.
That's true. Caitlin, you know, Megan mentioned about your pictures and stuff. You also have been... When did you start fostering the kittens?
It was a few months into the pandemic. I had moved right before the pandemic started to a house with an extra bedroom. That extra bedroom was supposed to be for guests, but now it is a kitten room, which I think is a lot better than people. So these kittens, I think, make 29 since the beginning of last summer, around there. I can go get them if you guys would like me to.
Oh wait, no, I definitely will have some important questions for you about le kittens, because I have some people that might be more than interested.
There was one thing I wanted to say real quick about the eagles before we get off that subject.
Yeah,
is that whenever you guys see them, just remember that they're dinosaurs. Keep that in your head, because they are.
Wait, say that again.
They're what?
They're dinosaurs. Birds are
yes.
dinosaurs. Birds. So a lot of people don't know that. I just want to get that out there, because if you look at their talons, it makes sense, right? But when people see, like that, how can you look at that and not think dinosaur? It is a dinosaur. But they're reptiles, they're dinosaurs, and I just want to like I try to tell the general public that as much as possible.
Megan,
put that out there.
Caitlin, Megan wanted to know: do you think there's been a COVID effect on wildlife?
Coming back to urban DC,
Yeah.
Yes, there has, but it hasn't been as like severe in this area as it is in other places because the wildlife here is already so used to people. And during COVID, really the only thing that changed here is that we're inside more, but it didn't really affect the wildlife population too much. Like, yeah, they came out a little bit more than they normally would, but in the general scheme of things, it's not going to have like a long lasting effect on them. And unfortunately, any climate benefits that we got from this pandemic, from everybody not going anywhere, are going to be erased basically immediately if they have not already been erased. Right. So it's not, it's just this 1 year of being in a pandemic is not long enough to have any sort of impact long term on our effects that we've already had on wildlife.
With the exception of the fact that we know that everyone not being in a car all day, every fucking day, is better for everybody.
Way better, but like how many people are actually gonna, I mean, how many companies are gonna still go back to having people come in person even though they know damn well that they don't have to do it?
Capitalism.
Exactly.
Capitalism. All right. Yeah. So yo, thank you for talking. Like, not like you're going anywhere. We're gonna talk more about your shit, but because again, I know some people that are gonna be definitely interested in some kittens. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
I mean, in addition to her fostering all these kittens, like Caitlin, you really have. I mean, we've talked about this before, and like other people have comments about this to you, that you really have. Like, I mean, you're a great photographer. You've taken pictures, with the bartenders in DC. Like, you like to take pictures of people and everything, but you really have a gift for like capturing animals. Yeah. And it really is like, all your pictures that you always post with like the kittens, they're so cute. And you like really capture their essence. And I mean, they're just.
Did you just say she captures their energy?
She captures their essence.
I'm gonna punish myself for that terrible.
I like joke more than people. I mean, who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
And it's not just cats. I mean, like if you go through, if anyone has a chance to really look through Caitlin's website, I mean, like you take pictures of the elephants all the time. When you went on your 2 different trips, like the pictures of the animals that you took were just amazing. And I cannot emphasize anymore how talented you are as far as taking pictures. I mean, in general, but like also in particular, taking pictures of animals.
Thank you.
Let's take a quick break. Marcus play a video of some type, and when we come back, we will talk about our stories of the week, things that have been interesting us and such. And yeah.
So basically, I'm playing TikToks.
Whatever's clever, bro. Like, you could, like I said, you could play the one that we didn't have time to do last week or whatever. I need enough time to walk to the fridge. And give my dog the finger.
You give your dog the finger, he's gonna make you take him out. So
be nice to Petey. He's also a dinosaur.
Yes.
A lot of my stuff got canceled last year, but am I good to go now? Sure. Do whatever you want. Whoa! You don't want to give Cinco de Mayo free reign. Why not? Seems like a good guy. Oh, it's all the tequila. Things get crazy when tequila's involved. Okay, so maybe just don't go too crazy? Okay. Why did you wink like that? Like what? Now I'm concerned. So just don't overdo the tequila, okay? Okay, just a little. Bye-bye. Whoa, that's not a little. It is to him. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be a problem.
What happened with the video?
Did not play.
It stopped, but the audio kept going, and then it just like sped up real quick.
Let's try. My internet's been spotty up here in this position. Let me try that again. Let's try a different video. See, let me know if it happens again.
Okay.
pounds of force which can cave your chest in and probably break a few ribs. In fact, these overgrown sand pigeons have been known to murk lions. It's because that long nail in its toe can disembowel you and cut arteries and cause you to bleed to death. And since ostriches can grow to 9 feet tall, if one kicks you, it'll land around your chest and stomach, which can easily cut your abdomen and spill your guts out. They don't have teeth, but they can bite you hard enough to break skin. And at 43 miles per hour, they're the fastest things on 2 legs, so if one decides to run you down, just hand your will to God, he'll fax it for you. But by far, the most dangerous thing about ostriches, they're stupid enough to find humans attractive and crazy enough to do something about it. Farm-raised ostriches have been known to ignore their own kind and make the kind of advances on people that would get you a workplace harassment lawsuit. Sometimes they don't stop at flirting and they'll actively try to deliver 10 inches of hell. That was not a joke, ostriches pack a 10-inch. I made this video because somebody on Instagram asked me if they could beat an ostrich in a fight, so my answer is you would get clapped. In more ways than one. Disrespectfully. Ostriches are scary.
I love that.
That's awesome.
He's one of my favorite TikTok creators out there. This dude,
he's good. He's funny as shit.
Caitlin, if you are not on TikTok, get
on.
Oh,
I'm on TikTok. I'm on
this.
I'm on TikTok.
I already follow him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try this first one.
He's so much fun. Yeah, I don't know. Are we gonna rewind? Rewind, selector.
See,
how's my audio? Is it
I know a lot of my stuff got canceled last year, but am I good to go now? Sure.
I'm gonna get it.
Whoa! You don't want to give Cinco de Mayo free reign. Why not? Seems like a good guy. Oh, it's all the tequila. Things get crazy when tequila's involved. Okay, so maybe just don't go too crazy? Okay. Why did you wink like that? Like what? Now I'm concerned. So just don't overdo the tequila, okay? Okay, just a little. Bye-bye. Whoa, that's not a little. It is to him. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be a problem.
All right, that was a little bit better, but I got the point. That shit's fun. Yeah. One more reason to stay the fuck home.
P.S. Caitlin's birthday is the day after Cinco de Mayo. El Siesta Mayo. The post Tequila de Mayo.
Hangover de Mayo.
So how many hangovers have you had?
Dude, I couldn't think of a better time. I couldn't think of a better time to go and get a drink than the day after Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, well,
right.
All the amateurs won't be there.
Right.
Usually I'd be bartending, and then at midnight I would just tell everybody that's still at the bar, like, it's my birthday, so now you just have to tip more than you just did. And it works.
So now that we're on the other side of this break, let's take a moment and do our call to action on Facebook and Instagram. We are the District of Misfits. On Twitter, we are at DC Misfits. You can go to our YouTube channel, the District of Misfits Show, and subscribe and like all of our videos so that eventually someone will want to actually give us money for doing this shit.
Eventually.
And you can go to crushingdc.com and support us that way, purchasing some of our wares and prominently displaying them in every place that you possibly can. And if you want to create your own podcast, we would love to help you make that happen. Please reach out to us at the District of Misfits Show at gmail.com, and coming soon, our OnlyFans featuring
starring Jamie,
the mayor of
Ranch Lube.
The mayor of Ranch Lube, Pennsylvania. And speaking of, this particular segment has been brought to you by Jamie's Palace of Podiatry Pleasure. And if you go to their website and type in the promo code, you get buy one, get one buckets of ranch lube. So, yeah, Jamie's Palace of Podiatry Pleasure. Don't sleep. Don't sleep till Bunyan. I don't fucking know.
Caitlin, you will have to go back a few episodes and watch, or we'll maybe have a clip of it where Jamie just dripped ranch all over his beard.
Wait, stop. Val, actually, stop. Val, right here. Val, right here. Is that episode broken down and time-stamped? I will send it to you so that I have everything, every amazing piece of magic from that episode bookmarked for our viewing pleasure. So just tell me when you're ready for it. It took me so long to write it. It took me so long to write this down.
Marcus, if only I had that button that I could mute you.
Right. I was gonna say, I took so long writing this down that I don't want to. I don't want to retype.
Don't lose it.
I don't want to retype it.
Just take a picture of it.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that. I was scared you wouldn't be able to read my handwriting, but it's not that.
Well, then make it clearer. It doesn't. Bing that shit.
Just so you guys know, I've been putting in some work. Okay. Anyways,
that's awesome.
Oh wait, I got one. We have another sponsor. There's another sponsor. We got our first food truck sponsor. This segment of the show is also sponsored by our friends at the food truck Garnishes. Serving up the finest in lime wedges and other garnishes. You can treat yourself
edible flowers
to the classic parsley basket. They also have artisanally sculpted radishes, and you and your friends can also split a bowl of cocktail onions. And for dessert, I highly recommend the maraschino cherries on a stick. That is, again, Garnishes food truck. Look for them in your neighborhood.
I'm excited for them.
Look for them in your overly gentrified neighborhood. So, coming to an overly gentrified neighborhood near you.
Now you know damn well some white people fucking go for that shit, dude. But that was actually a real thing.
The cilantro in the cocktail onion basket.
The stems taste so juicy and bountiful.
Hey, you know what? It would give us, like, whenever they try to do it at our bars, we'd be able to even be like, you know what? There's a fucking food truck for that.
Dude, one of the things I was gonna have on here was the citrus bowl, which is literally just a bowl of lemon. Shit, just a bowl of lemon and lime wedges with some sliced oranges or like some orange zest over top of it. Situation.
Put a rose water on top of it.
We will never forget the great lime shortage of 2016.
Oh,
Caitlin, we've talked about that before.
That fucking for real.
I still have problems from that.
I got scurvy insurance.
I was working out a center when that happened.
Oh no.
We just also look at it and says the great line shortage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Megan. Oh, the K.
You do this a lot. You need to read your messages before you post them, honey.
But yeah, I'm really.
But we knew what she was talking about. We knew it.
Very excited about our new sponsors. They came, like I said, they came to me this weekend. They came to me.
Were you stoned when they came to you?
What? Allegedly. Actually, fuck yeah, this shit's legal here, man. What?
Oh, I'm not saying
Supposedly. Don't make me call the law offices of Torres and some of you. I feel harassed.
Oh, Megan, it's a hard week for all of us.
Oh,
I have a big, gigantic bruise on my arm.
Val, you look like the fucking Jabberwocky jumped out the fucking bushes and just grabbed a hold of you.
I know, right? It's crazy. And of course, I was looking to my brother to be like, get a little bit of sympathy. He's like, yeah, it happens. And I was like, but it looks really amazing. And I don't know why I thought any different, because this is how my parents were when I was growing up, where every time I felt really sick, I'd be like, I really don't feel well. Like, I could have half a limb hanging off my arm and they'd be like, just take some Advil. Like, they don't care. Doctors don't care. They'd be like, you put Vicks. So they say, you put Vicks, it will be better. Vicks and Motrin. That's what fixed everything in the Filipino household. Household of doctors. They just don't care. They don't care. They're like, we see people like dying every day. My mom, she's you
either got to go Greek and spray some Windex on that bitch, or go black and just put some tussin on it.
Or the Filipinos, they put Vicks on everything. Everything.
Oh, wait. Maybe if we combine the three.
Like the trifecta.
Maybe. I'm not a doctor, but I play one in the bedroom. Like, I don't know.
What do white people have, though?
I don't know. White people have stealing from other cultures. That's what they have.
Yeah, I feel like
they do.
Oh, wait. Speaking of
which.
What's your story from this week?
My
Segway
story this week.
champion.
So on this restaurant in LA called Shibumi, which is helmed by a white chef named David Schlosser.
Oh, I heard this.
It's a Japanese restaurant. He's this white dude who is very committed to, supporting and adhering to Japanese food culture and everything. But this dude, he made this Instagram account. He made this Instagram post recently. Posted a picture of this typical Japanese dish, dessert, sakura mochi. And he posted what he said is the most iconic dessert in Japan, yet no Japanese restaurants are featuring it. So sad. I feel like he's like I hate to say, but that sounds very Trumpian. Makes my life harder. It's because the Japanese restaurants don't understand, appreciate, or care about promoting what Japanese cuisine is all about. Come get it at Shibumi, whatever, while it's in season. So the post in and of itself is problematic, right? Because he is a white man who's now appropriated Japanese food culture, which fine, like he is committed to supporting and promoting Japanese food, and he lived in Japan for I don't know how many years, and he studied the food and the cuisine. But he's now disparaging other Japanese restaurants in the area in LA, where there's like a massive there's Tokyo Town. But the worst part about it.
Wait, where is he based out of? His
LA.
restaurant's based in LA.
LA.
Okay.
So, but the even more egregious part of this is that people of the Japanese American community were responding to him to this post. And he dirty deleted all their posts if they were negative.
He DD'd them.
He DD'd them.
Oh, dude, shout out, dude. I tell you what, people hate fucking screenshots, but screenshots are keeping motherfuckers legit and
People
correct.
receipts of that shit.
So here's the deal. Like, I'm gonna piggyback off of something that I see in the comments. He's entitled to his opinion. Here, okay, we talked a little bit about this in the pre-production show. Here's the deal. Food, just like music, is supposed to be one of the ties that bind us all together. Food and music are supposed to break cultural boundaries, racial boundaries. Food is supposed to fucking make peace in the fucking peak of war. If there's anything that can fucking make two people who do not see eye to eye get together, it's either food or music. And so that being said, as somebody who has been adjacent to the culinary industry for as long as I have been, there are people from every walk of life who are devoted to some type of cuisine that is not of the culture of their upbringing.
I mean,
like,
which is fine.
Yeah, we're first of all, and I'm gonna pre-preface this. We are all on the same page that this dude is wrong. He's wrong about the way that he fucking went about it. Like, but what I wanted to do, Val, was what he is doing is not cultural appropriation, but he took his love and passion for a cuisine and a culture that is not his too far.
But what he's saying is he knows better than the Japanese community.
I'm right there with you.
That's where like the appropriation for me lies, right?
Appropriation is when you mimic a culture without knowing the background. If I start dressing, let me finish. Just so I'm clear, just so we're clear.
Okay.
If I started dressing like a Hindu or rocking Hindi themes things without knowing the background, like what Gwen Stefani did with the Japanese schoolgirls and like her fucking whole crossover from like No Doubt to like, 1 minute I'm like hanging out with like home girls, and the next minute I'm hanging out with Japanese schoolgirls and people are wearing kimonos and shit. Like, that's cultural appropriation, because she isn't really invested in the actual culture. But if you go to culinary school and learn the ins and outs of Japanese, Asian cuisine, like, that's not cultural appropriation. When you start to fucking poo-poo on legitimate Japanese people for not doing something that you think that they should be doing, that's when you've crossed the fucking line.
Well, right. So that's the issue. So that's what people in the Japanese community in LA have been calling him to task about this, and they're saying that, like, and some of them haven't even been overly critical. They're not attacking him.
The fact
they're
he's
saying that, like,
comments. The fact he's deleting anyone's comments is
right.
Wrong.
So what they're saying, like, some of the comments were like, maybe you just didn't know, for the Japanese community that, like, there's something there's a cultural tradition of when they do they only have it at a certain time of year, or that they they're very committed to supporting certain restaurants who do a certain thing. So there's this one business that actually does make this the mochi thing, what's it called, Sakura mochi, and that's been doing it for decades and have been providing it to the Japanese community and to the greater LA area for years, for decades. And they, as a Japanese community, they celebrate the fact that this one business does it well, and so other Japanese restaurants, out of respect and courtesy, they don't offer it, because this place does. I think so for him to say that they don't understand and they don't do it, like, he knows better than they do about Japanese community culture is shit. No, and like I said, the biggest issue is that they're trying to give him feedback. And what did he do? He dirty deleted. That's the thing that I understand.
And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and retract what I said. That is a form of cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
When you block out and ignore the voices of people that are of the culture,
and you tell them that they're wrong.
They're legitimately trying to educate him on what the deal is, and to whoever in the comments said that race doesn't matter, like, I think it does, because
it 100% does matter.
Because if he were black and doing the exact same thing, people would be losing their minds.
Well, as a white chef who live with a Japanese family, can I speak on this real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, as a chef, I have done many, many different cuisines and cultures. Most recently, I worked with Aaron Yang, who's a very popular Asian chef in the city. We did his cultural food from his family. He did his wife's family's culture food, and a lot of it's about the respect of the food. It's like telling a story. So, like, it goes deep.
And who's to say there's nothing saying that this dude isn't passionate about what he does.
But his
arrogance, his arrogance.
It's his arrogance.
I know better than you. Like when I opened the Mexican restaurant, I went to Mexico. I trained, and like I was saying earlier, it's like when I was introducing the food to the neighborhood on A Street, it wasn't like I know more about Mexican food than anybody here. It was more like, hey, this is what I learned. This is my take on it. I'm gonna try to do this.
I mean,
authentic as
if
possible.
I was a black guy and I was gonna start a truck doing like Greek food,
right?
If I was a black guy and I was starting I love Heroes, I love Slovaki, I love fucking, I love all of it. And I decided that I was gonna go to school and learn the ins and outs of all of it. Right. Now, let's say I have established myself. I'm 10 years in making baklava, that if you don't know it came from a black guy, you'd swear it came from your grandma. You know what I mean? Like, and all of a sudden, I decide to open these restaurants, this Greek fucking cuisine, and then I decide that there's some unique or seasonal Greek dish that isn't served in all of these mainstream places or whatever, and I decide to critique them. You know, well, why aren't you guys, I have this thing on my menu. Why? It's such a shame that all of these people.
That these Japanese restaurants aren't holding Japanese cuisine.
This is also part of the reason
look like an asshole. I would look like an asshole too. Like,
this is why I got out of the culinary industry, because I started seeing the chef's ego like guys like this.
Wait, you can't hold on, Steve. You can't say fuck the Greeks because you guys gave us philosophy and democracy and pedophilia. Like, like
that was a nice little. That was good.
This is hashtag. This is Sparta. Like. But no, for real, like, you know,
so
there needs to be a line. There needs to be an understanding in the culinary industry that your love and passion for a culture and its cuisine. Dude, I love Peruvian chicken. If I learn how to make perfect on the spit fucking pollo, that does not give me the fucking right to criticize Sardi's, El Pollo Rico, like any of the fucking legit pollo places that have been putting in the fucking work and making the magic happen without the notoriety, without the fucking pomp and circumstance. Like, I mean, we got to get to a point where the celebrity chef thing, we got to put that shit to fucking rest.
I think it's totally like,
I really do hate that.
You're either about feeding people and making people feel loved. You're either about feeding people and making people feel loved, or you are about being famous and being like, what's the fucking point? It's the same thing with fucking music. It's the same thing with music. You're either trying to touch people's souls, or you just want to get fucking paid on whatever the fad is. Or whatever, dude. Like,
I mean, you just want people to like pump up your ego. Like, Caitlin, you were about to say something. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I don't have any, like, I think it's great that people want to learn more about other cultures and learn how to cook like more food, and that's great. And it's great that if you get so into it that you make this like your career. But the very second that you start saying that the original culture that you have just learned about is wrong,
right?
The audacity of that.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Would you say the caucasity?
The
caucasity.
Can we get a hashtag, Marcus?
Nope, I can't spell
that. So what is even more insulting is that he was just recently named the Japanese cuisine goodwill ambassador, and this is what he does.
Was that from 2019?
And like, I'm not sure. But and like some of the this is from Eater LA, and some of the people in the Japanese American community there, where they were saying that that they found his caption untrue and hurtful because not only did it erase countless cooks and chefs' efforts, Japanese cooks and chefs' efforts, but also blaming them for not upholding what his own perception of the cuisine is and its authenticity makers,
right.
And like,
right. Because
who does he think he is?
Right. Because you know what? He sure as fuck wasn't the first motherfucker to make that dish that he was making. He's just the first motherfucker to make that dish and then post it on social media and go, I made this fucking dish.
Like, why the fuck does he think that he's the gatekeeper to that? Like, really?
Right. Like so many other people who feel that they are the gatekeepers to information or whatever, like.
Look at him.
What? Exactly.
Looks like a penis.
All right. So, hey, quick question. I like this question. Where do you guys think, and this is so early in shit, we're still in the throes of everyone getting vaccinated. Yeah, where do you guys think the DC industry is in? And Caitlin, is a secondary question. I wanted to ask you, as someone who you've been in it for a long time, you've got family invested in it, you pulled out because you needed to, you had to do whatever. Do you think that you are going to go back? What are the odds? And if you do, if the answer to that question is yes, like what do you expect to face going back into this?
To be honest, I don't want to go back, not because I don't like it, but because I think that it's getting worse and worse financially. I feel like the chances of me going back are a little bit higher than me not going back just out of financial necessity. But I think that unfortunately, and I'm a liberal, right? Like I'm 100% on the left, but I think that the left push towards the minimum wage, like getting rid of the tip minimum wage and like the Initiative 77 sort of stuff, like I think that we are going towards that. And I think when you put that on top of gentrification and just like everything else that's happening in this country, I think that the days where we used to be able to make more in this industry than if we had like a college degree in some other, profession are slowly it's going away. And I don't see how we're gonna fix that. Like I want to try to keep fighting, and I will try to keep fighting it. But at some point, the majority of the population is going to put it to bed.
Right. I mean, and then it'll be the end of restaurants that we know. I mean,
yeah,
there's gonna have to be, there has to be a shift if that's where it's gonna. If that's the direction it's going to go, and the way that the industry is run, the way that the things that make it such a great option for so many people to go into what the workforce is going to be gone, and it'll really just be.
I think it's been really interesting. There have been a number of stories in the last couple of weeks of people highlighting that businesses are doing everything from signing bonuses and so on to like try to entice people to come back to work.
Right. But like,
I saw, hold on real quick though. I saw a meme, or maybe it was it was either a meme or it was a quote tweet or some shit where some business posted a sign that said that they were closed because of lack of staff. And some Republican tried to retweet that picture as like, this is what happens when you give people stimulus checks and how many stimulus checks? 2,000 and then 1,400. And
right.
then, everybody's battles with unemployment, et cetera, et cetera. But like, to paraphrase, they were like, this is what happens when you give people stimulus checks and they get so lazy that they don't want to go back to work. And someone was like, no, this is what happens when you never actually offer people a legitimate fucking wage in the first place. And now there's a slippery slope.
I want to say something about that.
Wage. Slippery slope between that and the tipped wage. And go ahead, Caitlin, take it.
So, okay, one thing that really fucking bothers me about that entire conversation, right, is that this time period that we're in right now, when everybody does not want to go back to work, there's reasons for that. If this was before pandemic times, like wanting to go back to work in a restaurant before the pandemic is way different than wanting to go back to work now. It's not only the fact that there is still a health risk, but it is also the fact that your earnings are probably reduced right now. It's way more stressful to work right now because of how understaffed it is. You already have all these restaurants that have lost so much money over the last year that any benefits they were offering or were thinking about offering, they're not offering now. So you cannot use now as any sort of indication of how restaurants were doing before the pandemic because it's a completely fucking different situation. And I'm so sick of people using that as like, they're saying like, this is why restaurants should do this or this. It's not either way. this is completely different. This is outside of the normal conversation about how restaurants.
Thank you for getting the nuance of what I was trying to set up.
Yeah,
right. And I think that's what the frustrating thing is about the people who do support that narrative, is that they are. Oh my God, Marcus.
What happened? Like, why? Anyway,
Marcus likes to put on masks.
No, this
was actually the mask that we got him when he had his dog bite.
Didn't
Marcus
read.
got bit on the
didn't
face,
cover
but we
the
got him
right
this
side.
mask, but it covered the opposite side, so we were like, it's even better. It's even better. It works even better.
Apparently, you guys didn't read the tagline. Marcus is red.
Even the better river.
Even better.
And the Phantom returns.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Oh, shit. Look at Marcus leaving Easter eggs in the fucking Chiron.
Anyway, so what I was saying about what Caitlin was saying is that, like, what is frustrating is that the people who take advantage of that false narrative, and they use it to promote this idea that, like, I mean, like, the pandemic, like what you're saying, is completely different, and there is no reason whatsoever that anyone should rightly be using pandemic times in order to support.
It's like Rock is like,
narrative.
Don't pay enough. It's not because we're into the fucking global pandemic. Like, seriously?
Right. And, like, it's just, nobody should be operating in the ways that, like, you would be operating pre-pandemic. Like, if you are, then there's something the matter. I mean, like, Florida, who doesn't give a shit?
Yeah.
Like, they never shut down, and they've just been doing whatever the fuck they were doing. Yeah. But, like, you can't use this time to support your narrative that, like, there needs to be a change in the restaurant business, because ultimately, like, the majority of people, or most people, at least here in DC, I can't speak for other places, but in DC, the majority of people were making very good livings working in the industry the way that the system was set. And that's not to say that you didn't have the option. If you want to do without the tip credit and, like, do pooled house all around, and, like, operate however you can do that. But, like, this desire to just completely eviscerate the restaurant industry the way that it operates right now, because it doesn't work for, like, a percentage of people who ultimately, when all is said and done, maybe it's just not a good fit for them.
There needs to be, there has to be some fucking middle ground. There has to be a middle fucking ground.
Right. And, like,
to be. Like,
raise it a little bit, but don't eliminate it. I mean, and there has been research that has been shown. I mean, I don't want to get too much into the tip credit, but, like, there has been research that has been shown that there's a tipping point where you go past that amount, and then for the tip credit, and then it just completely devastates a small business. And, like, back to what you were saying, Boo, about the restaurants that are offering incentives, like sign-on incentives. I mean, if you look at every single one of those are not small businesses. Those are not, like, mom and pop restaurants. There's no way. There is no way that these small businesses independently owned.
I wanted to put that out there so that those points could be acknowledged.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, most of those places that are offering those incentives are, like, corporations. They're, like, bigger, larger business restaurant groups. And, like, the small ones there's no way that they can even compete with that. And that's
I don't even know why people want to have this conversation right now, to be honest, because, like, especially with bartending and stuff, I'm like, why are we talking about bartending and how much money we're making as bartenders when bars are not even open?
I mean, we're not. We still can't, even though we still can't serve across the bar.
Like, not like, yeah, they're kind of open, but it's not the same. It's not anywhere close to how it was. So how are we going to have this discussion about how much money we make behind the bar when we can't actually make, you know what I mean? Like, we can't actually use the bars in the same way. I just don't get it.
Right. Speaking of which, so, the mayor Yes, Megan, absolutely.
Yeah.
Franchises are not DC.
Not
That is not DC as fuck at all.
No.
So the mayor had released new or new guidelines for COVID regulations this weekend, and there's like I don't even understand how this could happen. I mean, like she released one set of guidelines, and then the next day released something else, and then had to walk back and say, actually, no, people can't be inside without masks no matter what. It just boggles my mind how they could have fucked that up so royally. I don't know why I'm like so like confused by it, because it's just par for the course, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like,
We'll get unemployment off. Like,
yeah. I mean,
at this point,
it's crazy to me. I don't understand how, like, like the whole thing is, Washington Post had written this article about to mask or not mask, and the mayor's new orders that were released on Friday were so confusing, to the point where we actually, so yesterday at Nick's, again, just another down by the river with Val story, one of our managers was in probably a half an hour argument with this gentleman who refused to put on a mask.
Down by the river.
And like they were going back and forth, and he was like, well, the mayor said, and he was like, okay, but like you're on private property. This is our rule right now. We're not 100% convinced. We don't even know what the mayor is saying right now, because it's vacillating back and forth. But you're on private property, and our policy is you have to be wearing a mask if you come inside. And he refused. I mean, it was crazy. And that's the kind of shit that we are dealing with.
And was he from Virginia?
I don't know where he was from, but yes.
He was from the magical land of some of you.
He
Population,
was.
Go fuck yourself.
My short answer to that is then he can fucking leave. Like, bye.
Well, that's the thing, is he refused to leave. He refused
from
to leave.
County.
Really? Like, how
Refused.
God.
It was crazy. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, Ricky's still outside arguing with that guy? And they were like, yes. And I was like, what? Why? That's so crazy. It's so crazy. People are assholes. Really, people are assholes and entitled. And the other thing is, we've talked about this before.
And it's only going to get easier.
Huh?
It's only going to get easier, Val. You wait. The cream of the crop hasn't risen to the top yet. Risen, not ridden. But that's
so also we've talked about this before, about how people were making their own drinks for too long, and so now they feel like they know how to be bartenders.
Yeah.
The number of people who order things that are like, I'd like the blah blah blah, but I'd like it with less simple syrup and a little bit more blah and a little olive, and I'm like, go fuck yourselves. You're gonna get it the way it's made. Like, I'm like so sick of these people. Anyway,
right.
That's my rant down by the river.
Let's get a little happiness and play a little bit of our favorite of the week. All right.
I'm waiting.
A little happiness here.
I'm ready.
I lost the kid. I'm babysitting.
It's all right. We're going to send someone over. What happened?
We were playing hide and seek, and I've been seeking for like 3 hours. I can't keep seeking.
You're sure you checked the whole house?
Yes, but he's not normal. Connor went to magic camp.
What does that mean?
It's an illusionist camp. They escape stuff and eat coins.
Have you checked outside?
You don't understand. Last week he made me pick a card, and a bird flew out of my mouth. He doesn't own a bird. Where did that bird come from?
Okay.
No. His parents are pulling in.
Maybe they know where he's hiding.
Oh, my God. Am I going to go to jail? What the fuck, Connor? You in the fucking freezer? How do you breathe in there? Illusion. I quit. Magic sucks.
That's funny.
Magic sucks.
All right, number 2.
And what do we say to boys that have trucks like that? That's right.
And this has been
Boo,
playing.
your volume's off.
Boo, do a shot.
Boo, we can't hear you, Boo.
Do a shot.
Worth it. Totally worth it. I'm not gonna do a shot, but I'll do here. I got like 8%.
Oh boy,
y'all.
chug it. This. No, don't chug it. Don't chug it.
All right, we'll play one more. We'll get to another topic.
I chugged it.
All right, we'll watch this and then we'll go to our next topic.
Thinking there's that carpet. Something scary is going to pop out, but maybe not. I don't know. My dog Daryl, stiff as a board. What is he seeing? I don't know. So he just takes off running, right? And I'm like, thinking to myself, oh great. Now I got to chase after him. I'm in this stupid ass hallway by myself, and then now he's going to be running up and down the hallways, and I gotta wrangle and make sure he doesn't wake anybody up.
Oh, that's a fucking hotel from The
but what
Shining.
do dogs see that we don't that make them do that? It's creepy.
Who's ever TikTok that is, I'm gonna fight you.
When I watched that the first time.
That shit's whack, dude. That wasn't even scary. That just made me mad.
It was scary. All right, well, here's a little uplifting, funny stupidness of pets. I got onto like one of these pet TikToks this week too.
Dude, if you're from the DC area from like the late 90s, if you're from the DC area from the early to mid 90s, maybe even late 90s, Silver Spring area, Motocat. There was a dude, he had a BMW motorcycle and had a cat that had its own little fucking like patch where it hung out on the fucking gas tank, and it had its own helmet. This cat was in the fucking newspapers. This cat was when he died. Motocat made the papers when he died. And this dude used to come up to my fucking school. Shout to Montgomery Blair High School, the OG Blair, not the new school one. But like, this dude would come up and hang out, and us fucking stoners and all these motherfuckers tripping balls on their lunch break at study hall and shit would be like, yo, man, this fucking cat's got a helmet on, man. Like, Bama's just like lose their shit, dude. And so, yeah. Any animal that's travel savvy.
We got 4 more TikToks to show later on.
About that life. Yo, real quick. Let's do the call to action, man.
Yeah, man.
To anyone.
Do it, boo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. To
Yeah, man.
any of you mans that is still sticking around, you can come find us on Facebook and Instagram, the District of Misfits Show, man. With you go to Twitter, man. You go to Twitter, man.
It is our
Yeah, man.
At
point,
DC
57
Misfits.
minutes. Who has crossed that line of the Neverland, ladies and gentlemen?
I mean, I
Who
think he crossed it a while ago.
crossed that line? Well, he is officially.
I've stopped
And-
hiding it. I've stopped hiding it.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. I was on wine, and then I was on beer, but then I was like, oh, shit, I still have wine left.
So
drank
Megan
the
called you
wine,
out
and
like
then I'm
Megan
now
called
back
you
on
out
the
like
beer.
35 minutes ago.
My shit's all
She 100% did.
Hey, who, what?
Megan called you out like 35 minutes.
Who what? Who what?
Oh, what?
Damn
So
you to
I
hell,
heard.
Megan.
Listen, I heard Hanson the other night, and I was actually like rocking to it. I was like, all right, go ahead, Hanson.
Yo, those dudes are like 50 now, though. So
No,
can
they're
you really
younger
trust
now.
them? Wait, do they still sound like they're 14?
I mean, it was on XM
I
and it
don't
was
know.
when they were actually 14. So-
Aren't they from
Yeah.
Delaware?
No.
Stella what? Stella who?
Why?
Wow. And
Stella how?
Anyways, back to the call to action. If you really like what we're doing on Twitch, you go to District of Misfits.
but you just
go
skipped like 4 things.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
All right, your
I
last
only
one was
skipped
Twitter.
Stop. Actually, I only skipped one. Mr. Exaggeration.
Skipped
Go
it
to
twice.
our YouTube channel. the District of Misfits shoe. Really big
Yo.
shoe. You can catch all of our
Yo.
shoes on this segment on this YouTube channel. And then Twitch, District of Misfits. Go to districtofmisfits.com and support us by purchasing our wares. And
Nope,
if you are
nope. You got that wrong
Wait,
too. It's
what?
Crushing DC.
What?
Crushing DC.
Oh,
Where
they
do we
have
go?
OnlyFans that Jamie's helicopter.
No, wait, what?
Jamie's 1930s vaudeville helicopter review coming soon to our.
Val,
OnlyFans.
ask him the question you want to ask him.
Boo. Where do we find our wares?
At
'Cause you said the
crushingdc.com.
district. Yeah.
You said districtofmisfits.com.
At summerfew.org.
No. That's for legal advice.
Sorry, the law offices of Torres and Summerfew, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really glad you liked that because that was one of my favorites.
That was funny.
But yeah, so where were we? Yes, and if you want to create your own podcast, and you wanted to have this level of flavor and caliente-ness, go to the District of Misfits show at gmail.com.
Caliente?
Caliente-ness.
Caliente-ness?
Yes,
Caliente-ness.
I took it to that little
We're not a
extra level.
Chianti.
I opened
Yeah.
up a
We're not a
Mexican
white-
restaurant.
we're not a
I
red
know
man.
these
And
things.
wait, stop. You guys, you didn't know this, but there's 2 more fucking sponsors for this segment.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
All right.
I can't fucking believe it. They came to me this weekend. It was insane. It was nuts. They came to me this weekend. And so, our first fucking sponsor, or it's maybe our second to last sponsor for this show, is Conservative Tears. Delicious.
So good.
And lastly,
Conservative Tears?
Lastly, whoa, wait, don't. Oh shit. You know what? How about this? We're gonna jump ahead. No, we're gonna jump back and kiss myself.
Where are
And
we going?
I have
Do I
no
need
idea.
more of this?
this last segment of the show.
Don't you have one more? Oh, yeah.
No, seriously. The last segment of this show is brought to you by Marcus's Magical House of Meltdowns, Go-Karts, Pawn Shop, and Petting Zoo. Because Marcus. And Conservative Tears.
Oh, that's so true.
Magic. Nothing says magic than having a rant and then trying to race a go-kart and then pet a goat. Not necessarily picking up what you're putting down. And yeah, there's loose weaponry and shit behind the counter. You know what I'm saying?
Can't breathe this mask at all, guys.
I never wanted to own a crossbow until I walked in this place. It was great. And so yeah.
It's beautiful. I love all our sponsors.
There you have it. Our sponsors for this week. They came to me. They were so generous.
They came right to you.
They were so generous.
Offered so many things. All the things, boo.
He cream pied you.
Whoa.
I like the fact
What
that
is
Val
it? Sparkly. Sparkly.
I like how Val knows what a cream pie is.
I mean, we all got Pornhub, bro. Come on now. Let's stop being bashful. Listen, I guarantee you.
Val,
Not a donut.
No.
Val, do you
Listen,
watch
I
Pornhub?
guarantee you that the four of us on this show right now, we are not all into the same type of porn specifically. But I bet you there's a fucking Venn diagram, dude. There's some overlap. There's spaces where we are, the four of us, there is a space in that Venn diagram where the four of us are like, oh yeah.
All right, well let's figure that out.
Yeah. No,
do it.
that's the best part. That's the best part, dude, is not knowing
Nobody
how the
knows.
sausage is made. But just knowing that, like, on some level, there's some shit we're going to throw up on this show that all four of us are going to be like, yeah.
But I will say Jamie will not be in this circle.
Nah,
Jamie's got that foot more.
Jamie's Ven's a little
Jamie's
smaller.
going to be over here in the Venn diagram.
Jamie's Ven's a
And
little
we're
smaller.
gonna be here, Jamie.
Shout out to the Roderick Foot Rub Foundation for the generous donation to our cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, hashtag
Why is
Ranch
Jamie not?
Room.
Seriously, that Rent-A-Center that he's going to needs to needs to go to a different one.
He fucked up so hard. He fucked up so hard. He missed out so bad. All right, let's wrap this bitch up. We're at fucking 2 hours and some change.
52 hours?
Caitlin, you are our friend, our guest, our lovely guest host with the most. You got any final thoughts? It's going to take us 45 minutes. It's going to take us. The reason why I'm doing this now, stop. The reason why I'm doing this now is going to take us 45 minutes to get through it. So don't tell me out, Marcus. I'm doing this for practical fucking reasons. Hold on. But at least let our guest get her shit out the way.
Hold on. Are we closing out or are we doing Gates? Because I got a lot of pictures. Listen, all right, so let
let Caitlin get her final thoughts in, and then you just
I got one picture.
Can I show the one picture? Poison all of us.
Can I show the one picture of Gates that I really wanted to show tonight?
Oh no, dude, trust me. Oh wait, stop. If you want Gatescape, bro, we do this. Cue me up.
Let's do Gatescape first, and then we can have final thoughts from Caitlin.
Let's make this happen. So I left off last week because there wasn't any fucking interesting news. I don't even know what that was, but I love it.
What happened?
I love it. It could be a pack of fucking hyenas, which would have been better. I'll take it. Artificial laugh track. So, yeah, in this week's installment of fucking Gatesgate, this fucking hump, this professional howdy doody impersonator, and what you would smile like if you literally watched a kitten get fucking eaten by an alligator. Matt Gaetz had somebody fucking legitimately his friend. Oh wait, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm having some technical issue. Oh, here we go. Boom.
Figure it out.
Yes. So in an article posted by the Daily Beast, April 30th, 2 days ago. Headline is bombshell letter. Gaetz paid for sex with minor. Wingman says. A confession letter written by Joel Greenberg in the final months of the Trump presidency claims that he and close associate Representative Matt Gaetz paid for sex with multiple women, as well as a girl who was 17 at the time. Quote unquote, on more than one occasion, this individual was involved in sexual activities with several other girls, the congressman from Florida's 1st congressional district, and myself. Quote, end quote. Greenberg wrote in the reference to the 17-year-old. So, oh wait, there's more. I know, right? This is what happens when we let this shit go. But there's more. So, quote, from time to time, gas money or gifts, rent, or partial tuition payments were made to several of these girls, including the individual who was not yet 18. I did see acts occur firsthand, and Venmo transactions, Cash App, or other payments were made to these girls on behalf of the congressman, end quote. The letter, which the Daily Beast, which is where this article is coming from, recently obtained, was written after Greenberg, who's under federal indictment, asked Roger Stone, good friend of former President Donald Trump, to help him secure a pardon from President Trump. So like a week before Trump got voted out of office, these Bamas thought it was a good idea to try to cover their bases. I mean, Trump gave out a pardon to Lil Wayne for no motherfucking reason at all, allegedly. And they thought that, like, well, fuck, dude, you handing these shits out to everybody.
Oh, Joe.
Maybe we could has one too. And so, yeah, as fine and awesome as that is, but wait, there's just a touch more. Just a touch.
Always a touch
more.
Just
a smidge.
Just a
scotch. Just a scotch. Wait, where's my shit on here?
Where'd it go? What happened?
Wigga.
Where's Boo?
Wait, there's Moss.
Is Boo here?
So, for all of us who are friends of cannabis, pro-cannabis, we, way before the decriminalizations and the legalizations happened, we were going to the normal rallies and fighting for our fucking right to have the fucking green or whatever. This motherfucker. Why is my shit not open, bitch? He's so toxic. My fucking Google. He's so toxic. My Google Chrome is like, nah, dude, we're not doing this. Anyways, take a I was gonna say take a penalty shot for whoever's fucking my shit up, but that's our original theme. So, Marcus, take a double shot. Double shot, Marcus.
This is our original song.
Any motherfucking ways before we wrap all this fucking bitch up. This fucking asshole, according to the Associated Press in an article called How the Gates Probe Grew from Sex Trafficking to Medical Pot, because those of us who are pro-cannabis haven't been working hard enough, this asshole, when Representative Matt Gaetz vacationed in the Bahamas in 2018, he joined a doctor who donated to his campaign and a former colleague in the Florida legislature. The Florida congressman, Dr. Jason Pirozzolo, and Halsey Bashirs they were united in their enjoyment of politics, fancy travel, and the company of beautiful women. I'm like, who the fuck isn't? Really? Goddamn, this is DC. Like, what's the lifeblood? What's the lifeblood of this industry if not
See, look at that.
politics, fancy travel, and the company of beautiful women? They also had other mutual interests. Florida's $1.2 billion medical marijuana industry. And if it sounds like I'm yelling, it's because I am. So anyways, the Bahamas trip is a central element of a federal investigation surrounding Gaetz that has suddenly endangered his political career, according to the Associated Press. What began as an inquiry into sex trafficking and whether Gaetz paid women and an underage girl in exchange for sex has grown into a larger review of public corruption, according to the people familiar with this investigation. And for my last bit on this fucking story, investigators are looking at whether Gaetz and his associates tried to secure government jobs for some of the women, the people said.
Yeah.
They are also scrutinizing Gates' connections into medical marijuana sector, including whether Pirozzolo and others sought to influence legislation Gates sponsored. The investigation also includes legislation from 2018 when Gates was in Congress and earlier work in the legislature, according to one of the people. Matt Gaetz, I want to fight you so hard. So hard, and I promise you, if you take up my challenge, it will be dirty. It will be nasty. There will be no rules. There will be no mercy. No mercy, Matt Gaetz.
There should be public beatings.
Not one iota. And that is my soapbox for this week. Good luck. God bless America. Planet Earth. You fucking fucks. I love you.
All right, with that one. Hey.
Wow is right.
From the law offices of Torres and Summerview.
That's where Boo's coming from right now.
So, Kate,
Seems like he's had some a few.
Yes.
Caitlin, this picture. Where's this picture?
This is supposed to be a safe space. God damn it!
Shh, Caitlin, this picture is when?
I
That was
Is that when you were hanging out with us? Was it election?
Yes.
think so. Yeah, there was a
Look
lot.
at the picture.
You took the picture, Val?
I did.
Yeah, that was
This is,
election,
when we,
right?
this is when we found out Biden won the election.
Yeah.
No. What?
Yes.
Was it? Was it
Yeah.
not?
Yes,
I don't fucking
Yes.
remember.
Yes.
it was.
Yes.
We went and got pizza. I think Boo died. Boo was gone. I think Boo
Who
slipped
may
off.
have died. He might have had too much some a few.
So we're gonna play our last TikToks of the week, and then the three of us will make our way out of here. All right. Here we go.
To speak to your manager, I'd like to speak to your mother. Tell her she should be embarrassed. She raised someone to act like a baby in public. You want to speak to the manager, please? Manager doesn't know what's going on. Haven't you ever worked anywhere before?
The IKEA guy. Hopefully he keeps making more videos.
Rednecks have been all over Twitter in the last year. I think it's because they just got the internet. They're like real excited about it, you know? And anytime anything progressive happens, there will be a fake redneck boycott. Now, what I mean by this is, so Trump banned immigrants. And then Starbucks came out and they said, hey, we're going to hire 10,000 refugees. All these xenophobic rednecks went on Twitter. We're not going to drink Starbucks anymore. When the fuck did you drink Starbucks? And if you did, didn't you stop when they had a red cup? One of the actors in Hamilton had some words from Mike Pence during a performance. All these blindly patriotic rednecks went on Twitter. They were like, we're not going to go see Hamilton anymore. How the fuck did you get Hamilton tickets? What are you talking about? You can't boycott something you don't use. We're not going to drink Starbucks. We're not going to go see Hamilton. We're going to boycott next. Portland, Oregon? Shut up. You don't use these things.
This guy's great. I do love him. And Boo, here's T-Pain.
It's
Lives matter. Fuck Black Lives Matter.
This is my clip of the week.
On that and I want all of them.
Yeah, man. Bye, thanks.
I want every single fucking one of them.
Flash myself.
I want every fucking single one of them. I want it all. I want it all. I want every part of it. I want a part of it. I want the whole thing. I want the whole thing. Keep talking that I want you to delete the black skins from your motherfucking COD. I want the whole thing. I want it all. I want it all, boy. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, looks like the win.
T-Pain
Stupid
is
idiot.
a fucking national fucking treasure. Like, don't get mad at me. There's good people who get mad at me. I would rather see T-Pain on a $20 bill than Harriet Tubman. Because, dude, who's that going to make mad? Who's that going to piss off? All the right people.
everybody.
All the right people.
And our last one is the therapy frog.
Oh, therapy for
No, therapy gecko.
Whatever.
Oh,
shut up.
yeah.
As a kid,
Get
so
it right.
I was very
You have to
repressed,
get it right.
And every time we went to a public restaurant, I like to crawl under the table and find the softest, most recently chewed pieces of gum and pop them in my mouth. Every restaurant we went to, I'd make it my goal to find like lime green gum or blue gum. The older they were, the worse they were. So I was always going for like the freshest pieces that people had just stuck under there.
And in your experience, which flavor was the most delicious?
Oh, definitely minty ones. They seem to hold more of their mintiness than like the fruity gum.
You should reevaluate your relationship with your parents.
Good night, bitches. I'm done. I'm done with all of you. I'm done.
All right, Caitlin and Valerie. Caitlin, let's go with you.
Oh, well, I have to go get my last thought. So why don't you start talking and give me 30 seconds?
Valerie.
Oh, I know. She's going to get her little last thoughts. My last
Marcus, this is why you and I make this show so America. No, I'm
So
kidding. Val, as soon as Val shows up at Olympia, I'll be like, "My Val's the best."
My last thoughts are everybody fucking get your COVID shot. Even if your arm blows up, like
get your fucking shot so we can party together, man.
Right? So we can
partying
all
with you
just be
bitches.
together again.
Man, come
You want to
Marcus,
see this
you're
shit
getting-
show
when is-
live and in person?
So
Get
Marcus,
your
you're getting
fucking
yours
shot,
next week,
dude.
right?
No, it was supposed to be Thursday, but I went in there tonight to schedule it for Thursday, and they're like, just come in tomorrow. So I'm actually getting mine tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Nice.
Oh shit!
Look at the babies.
Caitlin, I'm saying this now, but I'm hitting you up. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, you hear from me Tuesday. I'm gonna need at least one of them bad man pajamas, if not two, for a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old that are gonna fucking soil themselves.
Are you really getting them one?
Dude, DJ fucking got straight A's on the fucking honor roll, dude.
So you're gonna get a cat that won't die for like 10 years?
He asked for a kitten. First of all, I've had cats. I'm a cat and dog person. I love them both. I had cats for 17 fucking years, and I have a Boston Terrier who lives from 13 to 15 years. That's now 20 years old. So if there's anyone on this show that can adopt a pet, it's probably me.
I'm saying that my roommate has a cat, and it is 21 years old.
Yeah,
Wait,
20.
That's just 21 years old?
You just got 20.
I thought he was 19.
When a cat hits 17,
I mean, that's still old.
When a cat hits 17, you start prepping for the worst, and everything that happens after that is fucking bonus.
The little mew mews.
So, but yeah, Caitlin, we gonna chat. Like my kids expect to come back to my house in a week or so to just business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
But the young man, he has performed above and beyond. And one of the things that he asked for a kitten. He didn't ask for a cat. He asked for a kitten.
A kitten.
Caitlin, what are these two's names?
Kahel and Natatangi.
How about this, Caitlin? Maybe you and I make some arrangements where I can bring DJ over there, and he can meet them, and let him bond with his own kitten.
Now, will he cry when he sees them?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I would if I was his age.
He's definitely gonna pee. I'm predicting he's gonna pee a little, but he's definitely gonna cry.
I mean,
he's definitely gonna be like super emotionally invested in like.
Just kidding.
You know.
How fucking cute are they? They're so cute. All the kittens. I mean, kittens are cute in general, but all the
kittens are cute, dude.
All the kittens that Caitlin gets are super duper.
Yes, Hafizi, we're still at it because we're goddamn heathens and we don't know when to fucking shut the fuck up.
Who's hanging on to dear life?
Booze off the chain tonight.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm my normal, mild-mannered Clark Kent trying not to be Superman looking self. Hashtag you better don't. What?
Or
Boo earns, y'all.
Put
Just
the bottle
remember
of
that.
lotion.
Boo earns. Just remember that.
So, Caitlin, first of all, how old are those little babies right now?
Oh, they're like probably like 4 weeks.
And how long before they are adoptable?
About another month at least.
Perfect timing.
And what is the process
Perfect
that one has to go through?
So they are adopted through the Animal Welfare League of Arlington. And they're you can just look up the process like on their website. It's awla.org. But all my kittens are through them. And
So you can't just hand a kitten off to a bird.
No. Unfortunately.
Fine.
Or fortunately.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No.
Allegedly.
I steal them.
I'm kidding. What? How am I gonna? What? How's a black man gonna steal? Black man steals kittens from white woman. Yeah, love those headlines, Marcus. Those headlines bode great for our future. Like, woo, make mine a double. Like, I'll take mine the
Still need to
old-fashioned
come
way.
over and play with the kittens.
Dude, like I said,
come play with them
They
whenever
need
you
to
know,
meet their teeth
my
devour.
son DJ has been bucking the hardest. Like Izzy wants a kitten because DJ's like, I want a kitten, but like DJ legit wants a kitten. So I'm like, here's what we gonna do. You got straight A's on a roll. You fucking, you are doing things that give me no reason to say no to you when you want something.
Yeah.
And so I want to do my due diligence and make sure that he is matched up with the optimum kitten for him, his personality, etc., etc.
No,
So,
Caitlin.
Caitlin, I'm gonna be in
explain-
touch with you.
Explain the names of the kitties.
Oh
Well,
yeah. So
You
they're
have a theme that I'm a fan of. Carry on.
they're Filipino names. Kahel means orange for the orange boy, and Natatangi means unique because her coat is like a mixture between a tortoiseshell and a tabby. So I started with Filipino, but I'm probably going to do it with different cultures, different languages, like kind of like using the kittens as a way to like shout out like area restaurants. So I made like the first post about them and like shouted out some Filipino spots around town. Yeah, I mean, you know, some naming trends, some new naming trends, but that's what their names mean.
One of the
Right.
kittens that she had before, his name was, or he or she, I can't remember, Kimchi. And Marcus was very jealous because he said that that's the name that he wants if he ever gets another puppy.
I mean,
He
my
wants to name it
adopted
Kimchi.
my adopted stepdogger, her name is Nori, and I'm a huge fan. Yeah, dogs named after food, specifically Asian food, is a thing.
Right, so we were talking about kimchi.
Yeah. So, all right. Look. With that note, I need to get out of here because I want to eat.
Yeah, you do.
And
Did you order your wings?
no wings today.
No
I'm going a healthier route. I got things to do tomorrow, and you know, look, I love steak. I don't want to eat steak every day. I could eat wings and mambo sauce once a week.
All right.
So
let's get out of here.
yeah, let's make this a proper show. Let's end this properly. And you know what? If I gotta fucking take this goddamn microphone that came so highly recommended with all of us and hold it up to my face to get optimum sound, I'm into it. It's just part.
I mean,
of the
I can get you a
fucking
bigger
show.
stand.
I mean, mine's up to my face. Like you told me,
I
it needed to
I
be
know I have a bigger stand than you, Marcus. But if you want to donate,
I mean,
I've never seen that stand before. That looks weird to me.
you haven't seen this once we've been using forever. Fuck off. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being and coming to the District of Misfits show. We're the podcast for the rest of us.
The podcast for the rest of us.
Who is taking it all from us tonight? I have nothing left. Get a kitty. Get some pussy. Get a kitten. Get a cat. Fuck my kids. And guys, never forget.
Yeah. Hit it.
They pushed me out and maced me.